What's up, guys? Welcome to Superwise. I'm John, and I just got back from watching Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, this is a movie that I was highly anticipating. I mean, I love martial arts, I love the hand-to-hand combat stuff, and Shang-Chi is Marvel's Bruce Lee. The trailers, the promos, everything just sold me. I was beyond excited to see this film, and I finally saw it, and I loved it. It was great. It was everything I wanted it to be. So I guess let's start first with the director, Destin Daniel Cretton. You know, I've liked his previous work, like Just Mercy, and he does a great job here. He's a very good director, and he proves it here. The shots all have flair. The film is very well shot. The cinematography is amazing. The same guy who did the cinematography for Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, Bill Pope, is doing the cinematography here, and it shows. It is just looks amazing. The movie just looks visually spectacular, and when it comes to the CGI and special effects, of course it's Marvel Studios, so of course it's going to look great. Just visually beautiful all around. It's definitely one of the best looking MCU movies to date. Just beautiful. And when it comes to the action scenes, the guy who coordinated the stunts for this film learned under Jackie Chan, so I mean that says it all right there. I mean, the action scenes are phenomenal. Just some of the best action scenes I've seen in a comic book movie, and definitely the best MCU action is here. It is just hand-to-hand combat brutality. I love it. I was enthralled with it, just so engaged. It was amazing. I mean, there's not one particular scene I can point out and say it was the best, because all of it all around was great. The bus scene, the tournament, especially the final act between Shang-Chi and Wenwu, all of it was just epic and great. The music, the original score, is very good. I wish Shang-Chi had more of a definitive theme song, like, you know, the Avengers. That's definitive. We can hum it, we know it, it's iconic. Shang-Chi doesn't really have a theme here. It just sort of all blends together into one grandiose theme, and it's nice. It sounds very good. Just wish, you know, Shang-Chi had more of a, you know, catchy theme that we can all realize and recognize and think is iconic, like Iron Man, like Captain America. And then when it comes to the story, it is just heartfelt. It is an intense family drama. When the drama is happening, you're engaged, you're in it, you feel for the characters. It's just a well-written, well-acted movie. So now let's talk about the acting, the actors, and the characters. So first, of course, Simu Liu as the titular Shang-Chi. You know, he is great as Jung in Kim's Convenience. I love that show. He's very good in it, and you know, now he's in this big budget Marvel movie, and I'm couldn't be happier for him, because he does a really good job here. He hits the emotional beats. He's very charismatic, very likable in the film. He does a very good job as Shang-Chi, and I can't wait to see what else he's in the future of the MCU. Then we have Tony Leung as Wenwu, aka the real Mandarin, and he is easily one of the best MCU villains. That's not really hard, because a lot of them are just generic and, you know, disposable. But man, Wenwu here was amazing. Just so incredibly fleshed out. You understand his motives. You actually feel for the character, because he's this tough crime boss, but then he meets the love of his life, and he becomes just a loving father. You can see that in the flashbacks, how even though he's tough, he loves his kids, but then when the mother dies, all he knows is crime and evil, and he turns to the Ten Rings, and he becomes that crime lord again. It's just wow. And you have this emotional story arc with Shang-Chi and Wenwu, very good conflict, and then the ending where Wenwu basically sacrifices himself, gives the rings to Shang-Chi, and we see those flashbacks, and you feel for him. Like, I felt bad. I was like, oh no, I can't believe he died. Like, I actually felt bad. Just great villain, and Tony Leung did a great job in the role. That ending with him definitely hit. And when it comes to Awkwafina as Katie, you know, in the trailers, I didn't like her. I thought, you know, she's too goofy. She's just, gonna be the generic, funny side character just there for comedic value, comedic relief. And I thought the same of Yelena in Black Widow. I hated her in the trailers, and now I love her. She's one of my favorite MCU characters of all time. With Katie, you can honestly just take her out of the film entirely. She's not really necessary besides the ending where she pretty much saves the day. But yeah, she's only there for comedic relief. And I didn't hate her. I thought the majority of her jokes were funny. I think the friendship between her and Shang-Chi is nice, especially in the final scene. I thought she was fine. Then we have Trevor Slattery from Iron Man 3. Ben Kingsley returns for a bit of an extended cameo, and I thought he was funny. I like the connectivity between the Iron Man movies and Shang-Chi. I think it was really cool for him to appear, reference the events of Iron Man 3. It was funny having him there. When it comes to, I guess, getting into sort of my gripes, the chicken pig, what Aquafina call it, the chicken pig was cute, but I think it was a little too silly, a little too much for me. And when it comes to Abomination, let's talk about Abomination. When I found out Abomination was in this film, I lost it because I really like that first Incredible Hulk film. I think it's incredibly underrated, and Abomination is so cool. I couldn't wait to see him return. And he's cool. I think he's cool in the small moments he's in this film. You know, he's sort of played as a joke, and I can't lie, I laughed. But, you know, he was sort of resorted to a joke, and I hope in She-Hulk he's not only a joke. I hope he's fleshed out. Like, where's he been post Incredible Hulk? But it was nice to see Abomination. Anyway, it was just a cool cameo for the fans, and hey, I love seeing him back. Then when it comes to the third act, it was sort of a lot to take in CGI-wise. It was just like all over the place, and to be honest with you, I actually found the third act entertaining. I just, your eyes were just like all over the place. You had to shift all over the place. It was just very, very all over the place, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And then when it comes to the Mandarin's 10 Rings redesign, I actually liked it in this film because it created some inventive action scenes, especially in the third act. I mean, wow. Just wow. And then I guess let's talk about those post-credit scenes. The mid-credit scene was really, really cool because we got cameos from Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo, and Brie Larson, Captain Marvel. I wasn't expecting that. They're basically investigating the 10 Rings, and they're not sure about it. And just cool cameos. And then the ending of that mid-credit scene is with the Hotel California bit with Wong and Katie and Shang-Chi doing karaoke. That was really funny. I love that Hotel California song, so hearing it in the movie was awesome, and that was a very Wong thing for him to do, just to go on karaoke. Loved it. And then the final post-credit scene is the sister, Xia Ling, who is now, I guess, the leader of the 10 Rings. I guess she's going to be the new bad guy, and it ends with the 10 Rings will return, so I can't wait to see what we see in a sequel. Man, Shang-Chi and the Fury of the Iron Fist. Make Iron Fist happen in the sequel. I love that. But anyway, I love this movie. It's probably cracking my top 10 favorite MCU movies of all time. I really loved it. It was a blast. Great action, great story, heartfelt, intense, just emotion, all of it. It was really great, honestly. I loved it. It was everything I wanted it to be and more. I can't wait for more Shang-Chi in the MCU. Just loved it. So let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings? Tell me all your thoughts in the comments down below on the post-credit scenes, on just the Mandarin. So please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That will be all for me. And remember my catchphrase, guys. Stay super wise.